Hello. In this example, we want to use the correct order of operations to evaluate the following. Leave answers as improper fractions, if necessary. Alrighty, so just a reminder, we have please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEMDAS, however you want to memorize it. The expression that we have is the square root of 12 minus 3 plus 21 over 3 minus 1. Okay, now looking through this, I'm not actually seeing any parentheses, but there are in fact parentheses here because the square root of a radicand, now the radicand is whatever's underneath what's called the radical, which by the way, this is called a radical. And there's also a little n there called an index. It's the index of the radical. Now, square root of a radicand of some number is just, or whatever it is underneath there, is just going to be that number in parentheses all to the 1/2 power. So technically, there is a parentheses for this expression. And so anytime you have a radical, think of there as being a parentheses underneath the radical. So everything underneath the radical needs to be evaluated first. So here we do have parentheses, which means we need to evaluate 12 minus 3 first. And that's going to give us 9. So we have the square root of 9 plus 21 over 3 minus 1. Excellent. Now again, we're done with parentheses, so we want to work with exponents. Are there any exponents to work with? And yes, as I just explained, a radical is in fact technically just a fractional exponent. So this radical needs to be evaluated next. So the square root of 9 is 3 because 3 squared is 9. So, good, so we have 3 plus 21 over 3 minus 1. Excellent. Now, the order of operations ask us, are there any multiplication or division? And the answer is yes. We have 21 divided by 3. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. So we have 3 plus 7 minus 1. Simplify it. At this point, just combine everything. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. So the answer here is 9. Okay, I want to go ahead and bring your attention to a couple of things. First of all, when we're doing math, you have to write it down. Sorry, there's no getting around it. I frankly will probably yell at you a little bit. Well, I won't really yell at you, but I'll, try to remind you to go ahead and write down all of your steps. Each individual step that you do. If you do one small little thing, go ahead and write it down. And with this, because we just have expressions that we're evaluating, here's the expression, and then I lead my next line with an equal sign, and then the evaluation that I just did previously. And then an equal sign, evaluation that I did previously. Equal sign, evaluation that I did previously. Equal sign, and then I'm done, so I'll just write down my answer here. It's very important, first of all, that we do this as methodically as possible, but also write it in a form, first, you have to have decent handwriting. I'm sorry, you just have to. So make sure that you write down in as slow as necessary, or that's not really good English. Write down as legibly as possible. Go as slow as you need to. And the reason that I say that is, well, frankly, a lot of your handwriting is hard to read. And so make sure that you do that as clear as possible. And yes, I will remind you. And at the very end, make sure you either box or circle your answer, whichever way you want to do it. I prefer box or some sort of rectangular-ish form. Excellent. All right, well, oh yes, one more thing. Go down the page, do not go across. All right, well, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Have fun.